And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to First Financial Bank for the Ronnie Hearne Show. Something we do every Thursday at 12 noon here, brought to you in part by Papa John's Pizza. We've got some pizza in here already. We've got some wings as well, so come on by and have some lunch with us. And also, too, listen to this deal for Papa John's here. It's customer appreciation. 2 large, 1 topping pizza for $11.99. That's 2 large pizzas, and they can be both pepperoni or sausage or whatever you like, for $11.99 from Papa John's. And of course, Ronnie Hearne, the star of the show, he's here with us. And first of all, let me congratulate you because you've achieved goal number 1. You've cemented a place now in the Lone Star Conference Tournament with a win last night.
That's what Troy told me this morning. I looked at it. I wasn't smart enough to figure it out. It wasn't on the Lone Star Conference website, so I'm taking Troy's word for it. And so that's a great accomplishment. You know, we have 7 games left. And so to be able to do that with 7 games left in the conference season, that takes a little pressure off of you, off your team. You know, I've been here before. I know when that really good group of seniors last year, Shelby, Tara, Morgan, and Lisa, were freshmen and went down to the last game before we knew we were in the conference tournament. Of course, back then they just took 4 from each division. So, you know, that's an accomplishment for our team, and no matter what happens the rest of the way, we got a chance to get in the NCAA tournament. You know, anybody that gets a bid or earns their way to the conference tournament has a chance to win that tournament, get an automatic bid to the national tournament.
What is better? What do you like more? The way they do it now for the Lone Star Conference Tournament, taking 8 teams, or did you like the division setup where you take 4 and 4?
I like this much better. You get to play everybody twice, home and home, so everything's equal. You know, you don't have to go to Tahlequah, Oklahoma, Weatherford, Oklahoma, so you don't have to cross the Red River but once, and that's to Cameron. And of course, you don't have to go to Bartlesville, Oklahoma, which is almost in the state of Kansas, to have your conference tournament. So definitely like it. Allen's a great place. You know, it'll be your first time there. You'll really enjoy that experience.
Oh, I have been there. That's before the basketball started. I've been there to see Allen Wrangler games, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, it is a very, very nice place to play, and can't wait to start broadcasting from there.
It's a great place, and the people in Allen are just such great hosts, do a tremendous job, and just a great experience for the players, the fans, you know, everybody involved. I know our fans really love going there. You know, they got that little mall there next to it where you can shop. Got great places to eat. It's just a wonderful place.
It is a great place, great thriving area. Well, what about last night now? You went against 4 forwards in the starting lineup with your triangle 4 offense. Didn't have much size really to compare to theirs, and yet you wiped them out.
Well, one thing, Mike, we really concentrated on last night was really using our quickness. And so we really worked hard at pressuring the ball, getting in the passing lanes, and just really trying to disrupt their offense as much as we could. And I thought that worked well. And then our 4-out triangle, we really got bogged down. You know, they were really leaning and pushing on Kira, pushing her out of the post position. And then when she got it, they were really congested the middle of the floor. And we were just kind of standing around. So I don't know which timeout it was, but pretty early in the first half, we went to our old 3-out triangle and ran it the rest of the game. And, you know, we really did a good job in it.
Isn't that a nice option to have, knowing that you could run the 3 or the 4?
It is, and we got another little set offense or play that we call purple that really spreads the floor out. And we got a lot of cuts and screens in it. And we ran it quite a bit late in the game. And, you know, and some other things that we've run in the past that we didn't use last night that, you know, there were a few times I thought about using it, but the 3-out triangle really worked well.
And of course, Kiera, she got banged around in the middle like you were mentioning, and I don't want to say it was a punishing game by any stretch, but by the same token, Kiera's Kiera, you didn't really realize until the very end she had 15 points and 16 rebounds. Go on, just another day at the office.
Yeah, anybody would die for a game like that. And she had 2 block shots, 2 steals. You know, she shot about 75% from the field, shot good from the free throw line. And, you know, she was glad to come out. You know, she's had a little gimpy knee here for a while, and so we try to protect her as much as we can. When I left practice a while ago, I had just taken her out. We only got 11 players, so I put 6 on her team so she could come out some. And there was 3 or 4 minutes left in the segment where we were working 5-on-5, and I told her, I said, don't go back in. And the last thing I told Coach Wilson, don't let anybody get hurt while I'm gone. So they were going to do a few shooting drills and shoot some free throws after I left practice a while ago. But, you know, she's really unselfish. She doesn't care about scoring 25 points or whatever. She's just a competitor, wants our team to do well, and she's glad to see her teammates go in the game for her. You know, she wanted to see Aaron play.
I have noticed that about her, to where she's very intense on the floor, but yet she's very happy and reserved off the floor. It's nothing like you would see she doesn't have that prima donna air about her.
No, not at all. And I know she got Player of the Week again this week, and just played 1 game. Of course, when you get 21 points, 20 rebounds, you probably deserve...
You have to shove 2 games into 1.
Right, that's what you deserve, some recognition. But, I told her, I said, don't get the big head. And she said, I don't even look. I don't even know if I got Player of the Week. So, you know, you want a player with that attitude.
Well, of all the players I've seen so far in the Lone Star Conference, in my humble opinion, this is the Player of the Year.
She is. And 2 years ago, I thought Shelby Adamson was. Last year, I thought Shelby Adamson was. And if Kiera doesn't get it, you know, we got some very selfish coaches in our league if she doesn't get it, because to me, it ought to be unanimous.
Underwhelming coaches, I guess.
Definitely.
It's the Ronnie Hearne Radio Show. Come on down and see us at First Financial Bank. We're on the South Loop. Papa John's Pizza in the house, along with some wings. And, of course, we're talking Texans basketball. The Ronnie Hearne Show continues right after this. Back we are at First Financial Bank for the Ronnie Hearne Show. Mike Young here with the head coach of the Texans, Ronnie Hearne. Also, too, I mentioned that we do have the Papa John's Pizza, but come on by and register for some gifts we're giving away. We're going to give away a couple of things later on down the road. All right, well, we've talked about the dismantling of Angelo State, which happened last night, so let's get to the things coming, which is a big one, a very big game coming up in Abilene on Saturday against Abilene Christian.
Right, Abilene Christian on Saturday. Of course, they've been playing extremely well. You know, they went to Eastern New Mexico last week, and they broke their pretty good winning streak
How
that
did
they
that
had.
happen?
I don't know. Coach Wilson's been looking at the video today, and I think it was just a case where ACU just didn't play very much defense. You know, Eastern's averaging about 51 points a game. They scored 83 points on them. But if we can, I'd like to kind of get back to last night.
Oh, sure. Let's
recognize somebody besides Kiera.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of people who played well last night.
Yeah. Peyton Adamson had 17 points. She was actually our second leading rebounder last night. She had 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Morgan Ashmore had 4 assists and only 1 turnover. I thought Brianna really had a good game. Both ends of the floor. Tried to take a couple of charges. She had 13 points. And Cheyenne Berry had a really good night. 6 for 9 from the field, 12 points and a couple of assists. You know, Megan Odell had 5 points, and Erin Sims had 6 rebounds and 4 points. I thought Erin did well and kind of showed her potential. And you know, the second half, they only shot 34%. They didn't make a 3. And we shot 53%. And we made 6 threes the second half. And we shot 88% from the line. So, and one big stat I always like to look at, they had 6 assists and we had 18 assists.
Oh, yeah.
I think that showed, of course, that we were making some shots. And also we were sharing the basketball. And they only had 7 offensive rebounds.
I was going to mention that because coming into the game, Angelo State was averaging just a tick under 41 rebounds a game. You held them to 22.
22.
That's amazing.
Only 7 on the offensive end. And of course, since the Commerce game where we allowed 34 offensive rebounds, we have really stressed blocking out and going to the boards. And so that was a great stat to see, holding them to 7 offensive rebounds.
I don't know what kind of message you sent to them, but the message obviously was sent.
Well, I hope it continues to work.
It was a great night last night, that's for sure.
But Abilene Christian, back to them,
yeah.
They're really, really good. are they leading the conference in scoring? I think we're second in scoring.
They're pretty close to the top.
I would assume they're leading the conference in scoring. And they've won, what, 8 or 9 in a row before they went to Eastern.
They had an 8-game winning streak that went down.
Right. And then last night they go to Commerce, win 75-61. Of course, they got the Player of the Year, or All-Conference player. I think she might have been Player of the Year 2 years ago. And the Langford girl, number 14, a great player. And I hadn't looked at their stats lately. I would assume she's really been playing well. She was kind of struggling a little bit earlier in the year. And they got good overall size. They really go in transition well. And so it's going to be definitely a big game for both teams.
You handled them very well playing here at Wisdom Gym the first time out. You know that's not going to be the case again going back to their place. But what do you hope to do well in Abilene?
Well, I think number one, our transition defense has to really be good because they really run the floor well. And we got to get out on their three-point shooters, got to take away their space and get that first rebound. And then offensively, against Eastern, they pressed quite a bit. They didn't press us very much, so we got to be ready for their press. And they'll mix their defenses. They'll run zone. They run man. So, you know, we got to see what works. If they're playing man, see which triangle offense is going to work for us.
Let me backtrack just a moment or two here. What goes on in Portales, New Mexico? That was a strange place to broadcast a game from, number one. But number two, it seems like the opposing team, us in particular, when we go in, it almost seems like it's a twilight zone when you walk in. What's up with that place?
It's never mattered what record they have and what record we have. It's always gone down the last couple minutes, always, every time we played them. And we've been fortunate, I think, to win every game there but one. So you're really happy when you leave that place with a win. And we talked about this before, the elevation is different. It's flat.
True.
But you go up the Cap Rock, you don't realize it when you get around Snyder and you start, I guess it's Snyder, you start going up, you see the Cap Rock back to the west, and it looks like, you know, you're in the desert, but it's 4,000 feet plus elevation. And I think Stephenville's around 1,000 feet. Is that right, Bill? I'm not sure. So that's a difference in elevation, and you don't have much time to get adjusted to it. And then that Coliseum is definitely different.
Definitely.
And you usually get 3 referees you never see the whole year long. You know, and they may be from Albuquerque or Amarillo or wherever, but you know, you get different referees up there. So.
Well, I'm wondering if and we're talking physics now, if being 4,000 feet in the air, if that changes the so to speak, the air in the ball, or it changes the shot. When you take off and try one from 15, 16 feet, the ball might fly a little longer.
It could, definitely. I played golf in Colorado, and it definitely goes a little further, you know, when you're up 6, 7, 8,000 feet. And I'm sure it's the same for, you know, a basketball.
That's why there's so many golfers in Colorado.
I guess so.
Yeah, get a lot of help out there.
Right, right.
Well, of all the things that you've seen so far with Abilene Christian, and we know we've only seen them one game. We saw them go down in Eastern New Mexico, and we've seen what the Texans did to them the first time. Yeah, transition is going to be part of the game there, but how much does the crowd play into effect as well?
Well, fortunately, we always have a great crowd at Abilene. And I'm sure it's probably a little different this year for them because they have a better team and they've been winning, so they're going to probably have more people at the game. But in the past, I know when our game has first started, you know, the 5:30, 6 o'clock tip-off, we've actually had more people in the stands than they have. So hopefully, you know, it's just an hour and 30 minutes to Abilene, so we're going to have a good crowd there. And so normally their crowd hasn't been a factor.
So we need to get a convoy to Abilene is what we need to do.
Definitely.
Yeah, need to line up right outside of Wisdom, go with us, go on down the road, and then just pack the place out to where it sounds like a home game instead of an away game.
That'd be great.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can pull that off. Ron, can you help us out with that? Okay, Ron says, well, maybe, I don't know, I run a bank here. Okay, fine. Well, Ronnie, one of the other things that I've been looking at has been the extreme free throw success you've had around here.
Yeah.
Brianna Bledsoe's hit her last 18 in a row now.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
And it's coming right up on the heels of Peyton.
And of course, Ron runs a bank, so he's got plenty of money. So.
Oh, this is true.
I'd
forgotten about that.
He may charter a couple buses down there. Who knows?
Uncle Ron.
And buy everybody a meal. But yeah, Brianna, a tremendous free throw shooter. You know, she shoots the ball correctly. She really concentrates. You know, with her and Peyton, if you could get those two girls to the line, you know, most of the time you'd be really happy. But I know back earlier she's shooting about 88%, 86, somewhere in that neighborhood.
She's 87 and growing.
87. Peyton was just a little bit ahead of her, so it'd be good for those two girls to have a contest and see who can maybe lead the nation in score and free throw percentage.
If those two had a game of horse going against each other, no one would win because they wouldn't miss.
It would last.
Either one.
It would last a long time.
It would. I don't think I'd be able to last to watch it.
It would.
Kind of like the bird magic thing that we saw in the commercials many years ago.
Right.
This is the Ronnie Hearne Show. We're live at First Financial Bank here on the Loop. Papa John's Pizza here, along with some wings as well. Going to give away some things here in just a few minutes, so come on over. Plenty of time to do it. The Ronnie Hearne Show continues right after this. Back we are with the Ronnie Hearne Radio Show here at First Financial Bank. We've been trying to come up with a catchy name for your show, and we can't seem to do it. We thought, well, how about Hearne's Ham Sandwiches? That didn't sound good. Hearne's Heroes? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. We have lunch with Lon tomorrow, and we can't come up with a good name for you. I don't know if we need one, though.
We'll work on that.
You think about that. See if we can come up with one.
Okay.
Time to give some things away, so, Coach, let it fly.
Okay, I hope I pronounced this name right, but it's Wes LeFavors. Wes? All right. Step right up. Terry's got something for you.
Pick something off the board.
All right.
And he takes that one. He got himself a shirt.
Got a t-shirt.
All right.
Our next winner is Gerald Harmon, one of our longtime loyal fans.
You won a salami, Gerald. I'm sorry, that's not right. Oh, yeah.
A cap.
Well, he's wearing a purple cap.
So he got a different color, and I've got one of those caps. My wife is a member of the Texan Club. She got one of those caps, and they're really comfortable. I really like them.
See, that's the thing, too. You wear the white caps during the home games, just like I wear the white shirt during the home games. Fits in with the uniforms. If you go in the way, then you can wear the purple.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the way it works. That's the way it's supposed to go. All right, well, we know that you're in the Lone Star Conference Tournament. That's a given right now. What are the standings right now?
Okay, you got Midwestern at 12-2. They went to West Texas last night, won by 3. West Texas had the ball with 9 seconds left, had a chance to send it to overtime, missed the 3-point shot. Tarleton's 11-2, so we're a half a game behind Midwestern. ACU's 11-3 in 3rd place, and Incarnate Word's 10-4. They've been doing really well lately. I know they lost 3 conference games kind of early, but since then they're doing well. They're in 4th. WT is 8-6, so they're in 5th. Commerce is in 6th place at 5-8, a half a game ahead of Angelo State, who's 5-9. And then Texas Women's is 4-9, Eastern's 4-10. Cameron 3-11, and Kingsville 2-11.
All right, we know that the Texans have clinched a spot. We know Midwestern has clinched a spot. I'm just looking here to see. I think ACU is also clinched, if I'm looking at that correctly.
Probably,
yeah.
And you know, unless something really unusual happens in the next 7 games.
Don't say that.
Incarnate Word's going to be there, and West Texas is going to be there. And, you know, there's 5 teams definitely going to be there, and everybody else basically has a chance for those the 6th, 7th, and 8th spot.
Well, now that you know for sure that you've got games coming up at Allen, and of course, when you're sitting in 1st and 2nd in conference most of the year, that's almost a given, but you never really know for sure. Now you do. So the one question that comes to my mind instantly, will Carly Moore be healthy enough to compete in the playoffs, or do we know anything about that yet?
I sure hope so. That would be a great lift for our team. You know, I don't know how effective she would be missing this many practices. but she's working hard on her cardio. She's been on the elliptical and the exercise bike, and of course she can't get out there and run because you'd be afraid she might fall.
Sure.
And when she's on the elliptical, she's dribbling left-handed. You know, she broke her shooting hand, her right hand. So she's dribbling the basketball some, handling the ball. And I know she wants to play very badly. You know, she was at Allen last year and played significant minutes. It was a big part of that conference tournament championship. So we'll just have to see next time she goes to the doctor, see what Dr. Evans, you know, can tell her.
You know, that might be really a lift for her, because to have to develop your left hand when you're normally a right-handed shooter, that might give you a few more options you didn't think were possible.
That's true. She, you know, she's such a great kid and so dedicated and loves the game. And, you know, we took a charge last night. We tried to take a couple of other charges, and that's another thing we've been emphasizing is, you know, you got to do the dirty things that help your team. Get on the floor, get offensive rebounds. And Carly's one of those players. You know, she doesn't mind stepping in front of someone, taking a charge. She get on the floor, and so it'd be a great lift for our team.
Well, you know something else too, she already knows the triangle three, so that's really kind of automatic for her. The thing that would, I guess, limit her somewhat is if you're going to be using a triangle four.
Well, it won't be hard for her to learn, because the post player just basically gets inside and goes to the ball side and asks for the basketball. And if you get double teamed, you got to find the open player. So I think Carly can pick up on that pretty quick. Any
idea when we might find out if she's going to be a possible?
No, I'm not sure what the timetable is. I know here pretty soon she's going to get another cast put on her arm, and of course that arm and that hand is shrinking, you know, a little bit every day, and that's kind of the problem there, is trying to, you know, she had the cast taken off, you know, then you worry about her getting out there and re-injuring her hand. We don't want to do that, so we'll just have to wait and see.
It's too bad they won't let her leave the cast on. The post players will leave her alone. And
kind of extend it a little bit, about 6 inches.
Yeah, you know, really.
And maybe she could block some shots.
Ever the coach, that's Ronnie Hearne. All right, before we get out of here, some keys to going to Abilene and to coming up with a big, big victory.
Well, of course, we want to have a good practice tomorrow. We had a real short one today. I thought it was a good practice, and tomorrow will be a little bit longer. I'll have a little more time to recuperate from the Angelo game, have a good video session, good walkthrough, and then go down there and execute our game plan.
All right, well, it's Abilene Christian. Our airtime here on the Mighty 93 will be 5:15 Saturday. 5:15, tip-off is at 5:30 from Abilene, so we'll be on the air at 5:15, and we will talk to Ronnie then, see if anything has changed at that particular time. And we invite you to come on out, make the drive to Abilene if you have any chance whatsoever. Let's really fill this place up. Make it sound like a Wisdom home game, about 2 hours to the west. You like that?
You know, it's 75 once you get on the interstate. You can go 75 now. So
oh, yeah.
You can probably get there in less than an hour and a half, probably.
So you Mario Andretti types, this is your chance. You can bust 75 on the road and be legal with it. All right, Ronnie, well, thank you. We will talk to you on Saturday.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
This has been the Ronnie Hearne Show from First Financial Bank on the South Loop. Again, 5:15 Saturday on the Mighty 93. We'll see you then.